Have you ever stood up from a chair and felt like your legs weren't quite there for you? Maybe stairs feel a bit steeper than they used to, or taking a walk tires you out faster than it should. If you've noticed that your legs don't have the strength or stability they once had, trust me, you're not alone. Leg strength is something we don't think much about until it starts to fade. But here's the good news. This doesn't have to be a natural part of aging. In fact, what if I told you that just by paying attention to a few essential vitamins, you could not only protect your legs, but actually regain some of that lost power? It might sound too simple, but science backs it up. Studies suggest that certain nutrients play a direct role in muscle function, circulation, and nerve health, three pillars of strong, stable legs. And the best part, these vitamins are accessible, affordable, and can be life-changing if you know how to use them right. In today's video, we're going to uncover 6 key vitamins that are absolutely critical for maintaining leg strength as we age. And make sure to stick around until the end, because the last one on our list might be the one you've been missing all along. Before we begin, I want to make one thing clear. This video is for informational purposes only and is based on publicly available research. Everyone's health is different, so always consult your doctor or a qualified healthcare provider before making any changes to your lifestyle, diet, or exercise routine. Scientific knowledge is always evolving, and what works for one person may not work for another. Alright, let's get started with the first vitamin your legs might be quietly crying out for. Vitamin D. Ah yes, the sunshine vitamin. You've probably heard about it in relation to bone health, but its benefits go far beyond that. Vitamin D plays a major role in muscle function. Without enough of it, your muscles, not just your bones, can weaken, especially in your legs, where we rely on strength and coordination for everything from walking to getting out of bed. A study published in the Journal of Gerontology found that older adults with low vitamin D levels had significantly weaker leg strength and were more likely to fall. That's huge. Falls are one of the leading causes of injury in seniors, and they often start with a silent decline in leg function. I know someone, my neighbor Joan, who used to struggle with leg cramps and occasional stumbles, especially in the winter. Her doctor tested her vitamin D levels, and they were well below optimal. After just 3 months of supplementing under her doctor's guidance, she told me, "I feel like my legs are back under me again." Her energy returned, and she could get back to gardening, her favorite hobby. The best source of vitamin D is sunlight, but let's be honest, most of us aren't soaking up enough rays, especially if we live in colder climates or wear lots of sunscreen. So talk to your doctor about getting tested. A simple blood test can reveal if you're low, and the fix might be as simple as a daily supplement or some vitamin D-rich foods like salmon, eggs, and fortified milk. Now let's talk about a vitamin that often flies under the radar, vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 is crucial for nerve function. And when it comes to your legs, your nerves play a huge role. They're the messengers between your brain and your muscles. When B12 is low, those messages can get scrambled, leading to tingling, numbness, or even weakness in the legs. And here's the kicker, B12 deficiency becomes more common as we age. That's because our stomach produces less of a substance called intrinsic factor, which helps absorb B12 from food. This means you could be eating a healthy diet and still be deficient. I remember working with a client named Frank. He was in his late 60s, sharp as a tack, but frustrated because his legs felt heavy all the time. He assumed it was just old age, but after a visit to his doctor and a few blood tests, he found out he had low B12. With a supplement plan in place, he started feeling better within weeks. "It's like my legs woke up," he said. That's how powerful the right nutrients can be. If you're vegetarian or vegan, you're especially at risk, since B12 is mostly found in animal products. Foods like beef liver, sardines, and eggs are good sources. But again, if your body isn't absorbing it properly, supplements or B12 injections may be necessary. Alright, we've covered 2 of the big players so far, vitamin D for muscle power and B12 for nerve health. But what about circulation? Because strong legs aren't just about muscles, they need good blood flow too. This brings us to our third essential vitamin, vitamin E. Vitamin E is a powerful antioxidant, but one of its lesser-known roles is supporting healthy circulation. It helps keep your blood vessels flexible and promotes good oxygen flow to your muscles. Poor circulation can make your legs feel cold, tingly, or tired. It can even contribute to leg pain during walking, a condition known as intermittent claudication, which is more common in older adults with poor circulation. Now, I'm not saying vitamin E is a miracle cure, but when combined with movement and a healthy diet, it can make a real difference. Almonds, sunflower seeds, spinach, and avocado are excellent sources of this vitamin. Try tossing a handful of sunflower seeds into your salad or adding some avocado to your breakfast toast. Small changes that can add up over time. You might be thinking, well, I already eat pretty healthy. Do I really need to focus on all these specific vitamins? And I get it, life's already busy enough without counting every nutrient. But here's the thing, aging bodies have different needs. What worked for you at 40 might not be enough at 70. That's why being intentional with the right vitamins can be a game changer. And the truth is, these changes don't have to be overwhelming. Just 1 or 2 smart adjustments can lead to noticeable improvements in how your legs feel and function. Now that we've looked at 3 essential vitamins, D, B12, and E, we're just getting warmed up. There are still 3 more powerful nutrients that can protect and even rebuild leg strength as you age. So in the next part, we'll dig deeper into these remaining vitamins, especially one that's been linked to muscle repair and energy levels in surprising ways. If you've ever felt like your legs just don't recover the way they used to, you won't want to miss it. If you're still with me, that tells me one thing: you care about staying strong, mobile, and independent as you age. And that's something worth celebrating, because not everyone takes that first step. You're here, you're curious, and that already puts you on the right path. So far, we've talked about vitamin D, vitamin B12, and vitamin E, 3 power players when it comes to leg strength. But there are 3 more that can make a huge difference, especially when it comes to muscle repair, energy production, and keeping those joints moving smoothly. Let's talk about vitamin C. Now I know what you're thinking. Isn't that the one for colds? And yes, you're right. But here's what most people don't realize. Vitamin C is a key player in collagen production. And collagen is the stuff that helps keep your joints strong, your tendons flexible, and your muscles connected and supported. Think about how your knees feel after a long walk, or how your hips might ache after sitting too long. Vitamin C helps your body maintain and repair those connective tissues that get worn down over time. Without enough of it, healing takes longer. You might feel more stiffness, or find it harder to bounce back after physical activity. There's even research from the University of Maryland Medical Center showing that people with higher intakes of vitamin C experience fewer age-related declines in mobility. That's powerful, especially considering how easy it is to get more of this vitamin. Strawberries, bell peppers, broccoli, and of course, citrus fruits like oranges and grapefruit, all great sources. My tip: start your day with a small fruit salad or blend up a smoothie with frozen berries. It's simple, it's tasty, and it helps your joints say, thank you. Alright, now on to one of the most overlooked vitamins when it comes to muscle strength, especially in the legs. I'm talking about vitamin B6. Vitamin B6 is essential for energy metabolism. In simple terms, it helps your body take the food you eat and turn it into fuel your muscles can actually use. And when your muscles are well fed with energy, they work better, recover faster, and stay stronger, especially during movement like walking or climbing stairs. I once worked with a woman named Linda who loved dancing. She told me, "My legs just feel tired lately, like I've got weights strapped to them." We looked at her routine. She was eating well, staying active, but something was missing. After a checkup, her doctor noted her B6 levels were borderline low. She added more whole grains, bananas, and even a small B6 supplement into her routine. 2 months later, she was back to dancing at her local community center, telling me, "I finally got my bounce back." That's the thing about B vitamins, they work quietly behind the scenes. But when they're missing, the fatigue can sneak up on you. If you often feel drained after walking or doing chores, this might be something worth checking with your doctor. Adding more tuna, chicken, oats, or even fortified cereals can help too. Now, we've got one more powerful vitamin to talk about. And this one, it's a big deal, especially if your legs tend to feel sore or you experience muscle cramps often. Let's talk about vitamin K2. You might not hear about this one as often, but it's incredibly important. Vitamin K2 helps regulate calcium in the body. That means it helps direct calcium to your bones, where it belongs, and keeps it out of your arteries and joints, where it definitely doesn't belong. Why does that matter for your legs? Because when calcium starts building up in places it shouldn't, like in the arteries of your legs, it can reduce blood flow, limit oxygen to the muscles, and cause pain when walking. This is sometimes called vascular calcification, and it's more common in older adults. But here's the exciting part. Research from the Journal of Nutrition has found that people with higher intakes of vitamin K2 had a lower risk of arterial stiffness and better bone health overall. That's a win-win for anyone who wants to walk comfortably and stay on their feet longer. The best sources of vitamin K2: fermented foods like natto, a Japanese soybean dish, hard cheeses, and egg yolks. Not everyone eats natto, I know, but even small changes like eating more eggs or trying probiotic-rich foods can give your K2 levels a boost. And yes, there are supplements, but always check with a healthcare provider before starting one. So now you've got the full list. Vitamin D for muscle function, vitamin B12 for nerve health, vitamin E for circulation, vitamin C for joint and tissue repair, vitamin B6 for energy, vitamin K2 for calcium balance and vascular health. Together, these 6 vitamins form a sort of leg strength toolkit. When they're all working together, you've got stronger muscles, healthier joints, better circulation, and more energy. And the best part, these are things you can take control of starting today. Now you might be thinking, okay, this sounds great, but what if I've already lost a lot of strength? Or maybe, is it too late for me? And I want to say this loud and clear, it's never too late. In fact, researchers from Tufts University found that even seniors in their 80s and 90s saw measurable gains in leg strength and balance after adding light exercise and proper nutrition to their routine. This isn't about becoming a bodybuilder. It's about getting back the confidence to move around safely and independently. I'll tell you about Harold, a retired mechanic who I met at a senior center. At 74, he had given up hiking, something he loved, because his legs would ache after just a short walk. His doctor suggested some light strength training and a change in diet. He started slow, added a few leg-focused stretches, and made a simple breakfast change, adding scrambled eggs, spinach, and a banana. 6 months later, he was hiking again. Not Everest, of course, but he was back on his favorite trail in the local park. The joy on his face? Priceless. The point is, small steps, taken consistently, really can lead to big changes. The vitamins we just talked about, they're not magic pills, but they do support your body in doing what it's naturally designed to do: heal, grow, and move. So now that we've covered the 6 most powerful vitamins for leg strength, the next question is, how do we stay motivated to make these changes? What about the tough days when your energy is low or pain gets in the way? In part 3, we're going to dig deep into those real-life struggles. We'll talk about how to stay consistent, how to work around pain, and how mindset might be the biggest piece of the puzzle. If you've been following along so far, you've got a solid understanding of the 6 essential vitamins that can make a huge difference in maintaining leg strength as you age. But now comes the real challenge: staying motivated and overcoming obstacles that might pop up along the way. Because let's face it, making these changes isn't always as easy as it sounds. Life gets busy, energy levels can fluctuate, and sometimes pain or fatigue can leave us feeling like we've hit a wall. But here's the thing, these are normal struggles. The key is knowing how to push through them and stay on track. Before we dive in, though, I want to take a moment to remind you, if you're enjoying this video and want more practical tips on healthy aging, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We share simple, science-backed strategies just like this every week to help you live your best life. Now let's talk about the first obstacle: pain. If you've been dealing with muscle soreness or joint pain, it can feel like a setback when you're trying to build strength. But pain doesn't have to be a roadblock. It can be a signal from your body that you need to adjust. The key here is to know the difference between the good pain of strengthening muscles and the bad pain of injury. Take Paul, for example. I met Paul when he was 72. He had avoided strength training for years, thinking it would make his arthritis worse. But after some convincing, he agreed to try a gentle weightlifting routine. The first few weeks were tough. He felt sore, especially in his legs. But he didn't give up. He listened to his body, adjusted his routine when necessary, and made sure to focus on stretching and recovery as well. 3 months later, he told me, "I feel like I'm 10 years younger. My legs don't hurt like they used to. I can even walk up the stairs without wincing." Paul wasn't just building muscle, he was building confidence. And that's the kind of transformation we're aiming for here. If you're worried about pain or soreness, start slow. Focus on gentle stretches and low-impact exercises to begin with. Swimming, yoga, or walking are great starting points. As your strength builds, you can slowly increase the intensity of your workouts. And always make sure to give yourself plenty of time to rest and recover. But what about energy levels? It's easy to tell yourself, "I'm just too tired today." And I get it, some days, your legs may feel like they've run a marathon, even if you haven't done anything particularly strenuous. But here's something I've learned over the years: movement is energy. That sounds counterintuitive, right? The last thing you feel like doing when you're tired is getting up and moving. But research from the Mayo Clinic suggests that even just 10 minutes of light activity, like walking or stretching, can increase your energy levels by stimulating blood flow and releasing endorphins, the body's natural feel-good chemicals. Take Linda, for instance. She was in her late 60s when she came to me for advice on feeling more energized. She'd been sedentary for years, and just the thought of moving seemed exhausting. But we started small, a 10-minute walk around the block. At first, it felt hard, but after a few days, Linda told me, "It's like my body remembered how to move again. I don't feel as sluggish, and I can get through the day without wanting to nap constantly." That's the power of small, consistent actions. Even on days when you don't feel like it, committing to just a few minutes of movement can help you regain your energy. Another thing I want to address is the mental hurdle of getting started. So many of us tell ourselves, "I'm too old to start now," or "I've never been the type to exercise." But I've seen time and again that it's never too late. In fact, one of the most inspiring things I've come across is a study from Johns Hopkins University, which found that just adding 10 extra minutes of movement per day could contribute to a longer lifespan, even for older adults who were previously sedentary. That's right, 10 minutes. That's all it takes to kickstart the process and make lasting changes. You might be thinking, but what if I'm not seeing results right away? And that's where patience comes in. Muscle strength doesn't happen overnight. But what's amazing is that the more consistently you follow these habits, whether it's getting your vitamins, staying active, or stretching, the more your body will begin to respond. I want to tell you about Harold again. Harold was in his 70s when he started doing some lightweight training and walking regularly. It wasn't an easy journey at first. He had to deal with soreness, fatigue, and a whole lot of self-doubt. But his story is a testament to the power of persistence. Over time, he gained strength, his pain reduced, and his energy skyrocketed. He even took up dancing again, something he never thought possible. Now, at 78, he's living proof that consistency wins out. But what if motivation is the biggest challenge of all? Sometimes we start strong, but as time goes on, life gets in the way, and our routines slip. That's when it's so important to make it fun. Find something that you enjoy, whether it's dancing, gardening, or just walking with a friend. When it's something you look forward to, motivation becomes a lot easier. And don't be afraid to celebrate the small wins along the way. Maybe you take the stairs without feeling winded, or walk a little farther than you did last week. Those are victories. In the next part, we're going to tie everything together with a final motivational push. We'll talk about how to stay consistent with your habits, even on tough days, and share some simple challenges you can start today to kick off your journey to stronger, more resilient legs. But before we get there, I want to remind you, you've got this. It's never too late to start, and you've already taken the most important step, learning. So let's keep the momentum going. Well, here we are, coming to the end of our journey through the 6 vitamins that can help you maintain leg strength as you age. If you've been following along, you now know exactly how each of these vitamins, vitamin D, vitamin B12, vitamin E, vitamin C, vitamin B6, and vitamin K2, supports your body in keeping those legs strong, mobile, and ready for whatever life throws your way. But here's the most important takeaway. Aging doesn't have to mean losing your health. It's about being smart and proactive in taking care of yourself, and it's never too late to start. I know we've talked about a lot of things, science-backed facts, small lifestyle changes, and overcoming challenges like pain, fatigue, and lack of motivation. But I want to leave you with this: small, consistent actions add up. Whether it's adding more nutrient-rich foods to your diet, incorporating daily movement, or focusing on vitamins that support your muscles and joints, each step you take makes a difference. One of my favorite sayings is, "It's the small habits that compound into big results." So, even if you feel like you're starting small or taking baby steps, trust me, those steps are leading you to something much bigger, a healthier, stronger, more vibrant you. Now, I want to wrap things up with a final piece of motivation. Your health is in your hands. You have the power to decide how you want to age. We all have those days when we feel like we're running out of energy, or when we feel stiff and sore. But the truth is, we can take charge of our health at any age. And even if you've had challenges along the way, the beautiful thing is that you can turn things around with the right habits, mindset, and support. Just think of Harold and Linda, or any of the people I've worked with over the years. Ordinary people who've transformed their lives by making small, intentional changes. It's about being patient with yourself, understanding that progress takes time, and celebrating each milestone, no matter how small it seems. And here's a powerful piece of scientific wisdom to leave you with: experts like Dr. Michael Greger, who is a well-known advocate for health and nutrition, suggest that the choices we make today, whether it's what we eat, how we move, or how we take care of our bodies, can have a massive impact on the future. We're not just adding years to our lives, but we're adding life to our years. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a challenge. It's simple, but it can make a world of difference. Start by taking just 10 minutes each day to move your body. Whether it's a short walk, some gentle stretching, or even a few light strength exercises, those 10 minutes will help you build momentum, get stronger, and feel more energized. And don't forget about the vitamins. Keep them in mind, and try to incorporate at least one or two of the nutrient-rich foods we talked about into your meals every day. You'll be amazed at how even the smallest changes can have a big impact on how you feel. Finally, I want to hear from you. If you found this video helpful, please take a moment to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more tips on living your healthiest life as you age. And don't forget to leave a comment below with any questions you might have or suggestions for future topics. I love hearing from you, and your input helps me create even more content that's helpful for you and others in our community. So here's to living your best life at any age, stronger legs, more energy, and a healthier future ahead. Remember, you're in charge of your health, and I believe in you every step of the way.